In today's fast-paced and interconnected world, despite the constant presence of technology and social media, a significant number of people experience a deep feeling of isolation. It is becoming more and more common to experience the feeling of having no friends or being isolated from others. In the upcoming lessons, we will explore how different factors can contribute to a lack of genuine social connections. Let's explore the difficulties that introverts or people with shy personalities may face when it comes to building and sustaining friendships. We will also explore how social anxiety and the fear of judgment can hinder the development of meaningful connections. In addition, we will go into how experiencing a lack of understanding or feeling different from others can result in a feeling of being alone, even in the presence of others. We will also discuss the effects of unhealthy relationships and toxic social circles, which can make us feel isolated and lacking in support. Today, we will be discussing the excessive use of social media and the false sense of connection it can create in our digital era. We will explore the impact of excessive time spent in virtual spaces on our ability to build genuine in-person relationships. In addition, we will discuss how excessive solitary time, whether intentional or due to circumstances, can intensify feelings of isolation. We will also discuss how certain addictions and unhealthy coping mechanisms can contribute to social isolation and make the problem worse. Our goal in this book is to give you a clear grasp of the different elements that contribute to the experience of having no friends. Our main focus is to provide valuable insights and effective strategies that can help readers overcome loneliness, establish meaningful connections, and foster a sense of belonging in their lives. Lesson 1. You're an introvert and shy personality. Brittany has always been someone who prefers solitude and finds comfort in the peaceful moments of life. Throughout her childhood, she frequently experienced a lack of understanding from her more extroverted peers, who mistakenly interpreted her quiet demeanor as being distant or uninterested. Unbeknownst to others, Brittany's mind was constantly filled with thoughts, ideas, and a strong sense of empathy for those around her. Brittany discovered a passion for art during her time in high school. She would spend hours in her room, immersed in her art, pouring her emotions onto the canvas. Art was Brittany's preferred form of self-expression, a language that she found most comfortable. Brittany frequently hesitated to share her artwork with others, despite her immense talent and passion for art. She was afraid of being judged, rejected, and being in the spotlight that comes with exposing herself. Consequently, she chose to keep her artwork to herself, safely stored in a portfolio that continued to expand over time. Brittany started pushing herself to try new things during her college years. Inspired by a professor who believed in her abilities, she made the choice to enter one of her artworks into the university's art exhibition. To her surprise, her work was not only accepted but also received high praise from her peers and the art community. Brittany was profoundly impacted by this small act of bravery. She came to the realization that her introversion and shyness were not weaknesses, but rather qualities that empowered her to create art that was genuinely authentic and meaningful. She started to appreciate her calm demeanor, discovering ways to bond with others through her artwork and the emotions it evoked. As Brittany's confidence grew, she began to embrace more challenging tasks. She eagerly offered to take charge of art workshops for children in her community, passing on her passion for creativity to a fresh wave of budding artists. She also started working with other introverted artists, creating a close-knit group that provided support and inspiration to each other. Brittany realized that her introversion and shyness were not obstacles to success, but rather distinctive qualities that made her stand out. She discovered the value of finding beauty in the small moments, the importance of being observant, and the meaningful connections that can be forged through shared interests and experiences. Reflecting on her journey, Brittany came to the realization that her path had been quite challenging. She had experienced moments of uncertainty, anxiety, and lack of confidence that had posed obstacles in her path. Throughout everything, she stayed true to herself, embracing her introverted nature and finding strength in the overlooked quiet moments. Brittany's story ultimately showcased resilience, creativity, and the importance of remaining authentic. She had demonstrated that introversion and shyness were not weaknesses, but rather valuable strengths that could be utilized to create something truly beautiful and meaningful. As she gazed ahead, she was confident that her calm demeanor would always be a wellspring of inspiration and connection in her endeavors. There is a distinction between introversion and shyness, even though people often use the terms interchangeably. Introversion and shyness are two distinct aspects of a person's personality. Introversion refers to a preference for solitude and a tendency to focus on internal thoughts and feelings. On the other hand, shyness is the feeling of discomfort or anxiety in social situations. However, forming and maintaining friendships can be challenging for introverts who also experience shyness. If you consider yourself an introvert with a shy personality, you might encounter difficulties in forming connections with others, which can lead to feelings of loneliness. A common struggle for introverts with shy personalities is the worry of being judged in social situations. Social situations can sometimes be a source of worry, as you might be concerned about saying the wrong thing, facing rejection, or feeling awkward. Many people may develop avoidance behaviors as a result of this fear, such as declining social invitations or remaining silent in group settings. Over time, this pattern can strengthen your perception that social interactions are uncomfortable and should be avoided, resulting in a cycle of isolation and loneliness. One more thing that adds to the loneliness experienced by introverts with shy personalities is their desire for alone time. For introverts, taking ample alone time is crucial for recharging and reflecting on thoughts and emotions. Although being alone can be rejuvenating, it can also make it challenging to dedicate time and effort to developing and sustaining social relationships. It's common to feel conflicted between wanting company and needing alone time, which can sometimes make you feel guilty or inadequate when you prioritize your own needs over social commitments. In addition, people who are introverted and have shy personalities may find it challenging to start conversations with others. If you prefer engaging in profound discussions, you might feel that engaging in small talk and casual socializing can be tiring or lacking depth. Building a wide social network can be a bit challenging because it's common for social interactions to start with casual conversations and gradually deepen over time. You might end up waiting for others to reach out or for the right moment to have a meaningful conversation, which can restrict your chances of connecting with others socially. Some people who are introverted and shy may find it challenging to express their needs and preferences in social settings. You might find yourself going along with group decisions or activities that don't align with your interests or values, because you're afraid of causing conflict or attracting attention to yourself. Not being assertive can cause negative emotions in your relationships, making you feel like your needs aren't being met or that you're not being true to yourself. Introverts with shy personalities often face the challenge of being perceived as wrong or abnormal due to their behavior. Many people feel the need to alter their personalities or put themselves in uncomfortable social situations due to society's emphasis on extroversion and social ease. Feeling inadequate or ashamed can make a sense of loneliness and isolation even worse. Introverts with shy personalities may find it beneficial to actively pursue social situations that resonate with their interests and values. Engaging in activities you love can help you connect with people who share your interests and create a strong sense of community. For instance, you can consider joining a book club, attending a workshop related to your hobbies, or volunteering for a cause you care about. These activities can offer you chances to socialize in a way that feels genuine and significant to you. Through challenging these assumptions and shifting your mindset towards a more positive perspective, you can start to develop confidence in your social skills. One way to approach this is by practicing self-compassion and keeping in mind that it's normal to feel awkward or uncertain in social situations. It can also be helpful to focus on the positive aspects of these interactions, like the chance to learn from others or form meaningful connections. Setting boundaries around social interactions can be beneficial for introverts who have shy personalities. You can make things easier for yourself by reducing the time you spend in large group settings, taking breaks during social events to recharge, and clearly expressing your needs and preferences to others. Setting clear boundaries and prioritizing your own well-being can help you regain control and feel more empowered in your social life. Instead of feeling overwhelmed or drained by social obligations, you can create a healthier balance. It's also beneficial to reach out to others who can empathize and connect with your experiences. You can consider joining online communities tailored for introverts or shy people seeking therapy or counseling to address social anxieties or self-esteem issues, or confiding in trusted friends or family members about your feelings of loneliness and isolation. Lesson 2. Social anxiety or fear of people. Social anxiety, also referred to as social phobia, is a mental health condition that involves a strong fear of social situations, especially those that involve interacting with unfamiliar people or the potential for being judged by others. People who struggle with social anxiety frequently face an ongoing and intense apprehension of being evaluated, criticized, or excluded by others, resulting in considerable distress and interference in their everyday activities. People often experience a range of manifestations when it comes to their fear of social situations, whether it's completely avoiding them or enduring them with a great deal of discomfort and anxiety. Public speaking or performance is a common source of anxiety for many people. Speaking in front of a group can be a daunting task for people with social anxiety. This includes giving presentations at work, participating in classroom discussion, or even introducing themselves to new people. Many people experience a paralyzing fear due to concerns about stumbling over words, appearing nervous, or being judged harshly by others. This fear can lead to intense anxiety symptoms like sweating, trembling, and a racing heartbeat. Social anxiety can also appear in less obvious ways, like feeling apprehensive about engaging in casual conversations or making small talk. People who experience social anxiety often tend to steer clear of social gatherings, such as parties or networking events, due to their apprehension about feeling unsure of how to engage or behave in such situations. Some people may have concerns about coming across as awkward or unintelligent, or being judged based on their appearance or social skills. This fear can result in a pattern of avoiding social situations and isolating oneself, as the person becomes more anxious and eventually starts to completely withdraw from such situations. Another way social anxiety can show up is through a fear of eating or drinking in front of others. People who experience social anxiety may have concerns regarding accidental spills, consuming excessive or insufficient amounts of food, or facing judgment due to their eating behaviors. Some people may choose not to go out for meals with friends or coworkers, or may experience significant anxiety when they have to eat in public places like cafeterias or restaurants. Many people experience significant distress and impairment in their daily lives due to this fear. it can cause them to avoid social situations that involve food or drink. People with social anxiety may also experience fear when using public restrooms or other public facilities. People who experience social anxiety may have concerns about their privacy and potential judgment when using public restrooms. Many people experience a great deal of discomfort and may go to great lengths to avoid situations that trigger their fear, such as holding in the need to use the restroom or avoiding public places altogether. Furthermore, people with social anxiety commonly feel a general sense of unease or discomfort in social situations, in addition to their specific fears. Some people may experience a sense of being observed or evaluated by others, even in the absence of any substantiating evidence. Some people may experience concerns about saying or doing the incorrect thing, as well as fears of rejection or social exclusion from their peers. Feeling anxious all the time can be really tiring and overwhelming, making you feel hopeless and down. Factors related to psychology, like having low self-esteem or being a perfectionist, can contribute to the development of social anxiety. People who tend to be overly self-critical or have unrealistic standards for themselves may find themselves more susceptible to feeling anxious in social settings. This is because they worry about not meeting their own or others' expectations. Although social anxiety can cause significant distress and impairment, many people with this condition find it challenging to seek help or support. Many people find it challenging to seek support from loved ones or mental health experts due to the fear of being judged or stigmatized for their anxiety. In addition, the behaviors linked to social anxiety can make it difficult for people to seek treatment or therapy. They may feel hesitant to attend sessions or take part in group activities. Furthermore, people with social anxiety can employ various self-help strategies to effectively manage their symptoms and develop resilience, in addition to the formal treatment options available. One option is to try relaxation techniques like deep breathing or progressive muscle relaxation. These can help alleviate physical symptoms of anxiety. Regular exercise like walking or yoga can be beneficial for reducing stress and enhancing overall well-being. Another effective strategy for managing social anxiety involves confronting avoidance behaviors and gradually facing feared social situations. One approach could be to set manageable goals, like initiating a conversation with a cashier or attending a social event briefly. People can overcome their fear of people and gain confidence in navigating social interactions by gradually building up tolerance to these situations and learning to manage anxiety in the moment. It's crucial for people with social anxiety to cultivate self-compassion and keep in mind that they're not alone in their challenges. Lots of people go through social anxiety to some extent, and it's perfectly fine to reach out for assistance or support. Through connecting with like-minded people, people can start to form a sense of community and belonging, even when confronted with their fears. Lesson 3. Lack of social connections. In today's rapidly changing and interconnected life, it may be surprising that a lack of social connections is becoming a more prominent issue. With the abundance of social media platforms and instant communication tools, it is not uncommon for people to experience a sense of isolation and disconnection from others. Having authentic and meaningful social connections is crucial for one's mental health, well-being, and overall quality of life. The changing nature of our social interactions is a major factor contributing to the lack of social connections. In earlier times, people would frequently establish social bonds by engaging in direct personal interactions. This could involve meeting up with friends for a cup of coffee, taking part in community gatherings, or joining group activities. Nevertheless, the advent of technology and the internet has led to a shift in social interaction, with many traditional forms being replaced by virtual communication. Although social media and instant messaging can be convenient for communication, They often lack the depth and intimacy of face-to-face interactions. Life transitions and changes can make it even harder to maintain social connections. Instances such as relocating to a different city, commencing a fresh job, or experiencing a divorce or separation can disturb established social connections and create difficulties in establishing new ones. When people don't have the help and comfort of their usual social connections, they might feel isolated and alone. It can be tough for them to figure out new places and make new friends. Some people may struggle with forming social connections due to personal factors like shyness, social anxiety, or low self-esteem. For some people, starting or keeping up with social interactions can be challenging, which can result in feeling alone and isolated. Some people may feel anxious about being rejected or judged by others, or they may have doubts about their own worthiness of social connection and support. People who lack confidence and skills in building and maintaining social relationships may experience a growing sense of disconnection from others. The impact of not having social connections can be substantial and have wide-ranging effects. Studies have indicated that being socially isolated and feeling lonely can have detrimental effects on both your physical and mental well-being. People who don't have strong social connections may face a higher risk of developing mental health conditions like depression and anxiety. Additionally, people may be prone to adopting unhealthy habits, such as substance abuse or overeating, as a means of dealing with feelings of loneliness and disconnection. Not only does a lack of social connections affect mental health, but it can also have physical health implications. Research has shown that being socially isolated and feeling lonely can raise the chances of developing chronic health issues, including heart disease, stroke, and dementia. Loneliness has been shown to have a significant impact on mortality rates. In fact, research indicates that it may be just as much of a risk factor as smoking or obesity. Not having social connections can also impact a person's overall quality of life. Having the support and companionship of others is crucial for people to pursue their goals and dreams, find meaning and purpose in their lives, and experience joy and fulfillment. Some people might experience feelings of boredom, apathy, and a lack of motivation, which can result in a sense of stagnation and dissatisfaction with life. Seeking professional support and guidance can be a crucial step for people who struggle with shyness or social anxiety, helping them build social connections. Therapy or counseling can assist people in building confidence and acquiring the necessary skills to initiate and sustain social interactions. It also helps in challenging negative beliefs and thought patterns that might hinder progress. Support groups and online communities can offer a sense of connection and belonging to people who have gone through similar experiences. Recognizing the significance of social connections and fostering environments and policies that promote social interaction is crucial at a societal level. One way to achieve this is by creating public spaces and communities that encourage social interaction. Examples of such spaces include parks, community centers, and public transportation. Additionally, it could include advocating for policies that encourage a healthy balance between work and personal life, enabling people to prioritize social connections alongside their other commitments. Overall, the increasing absence of social connections is becoming a significant issue in our modern technology-driven society. Although technology and modern life have made communication more convenient, they can also lead to a sense of isolation and disconnection. Understanding the value of social connections and actively working to cultivate and sustain meaningful relationships can have a positive impact on our mental and physical well-being. It can also bring more purpose and fulfillment to our lives as we become part of a caring and supportive community that brings us joy. Lesson 4. Feeling misunderstood or different from others. Experiencing a sense of being misunderstood or different from others is something that many people encounter at some stage in their lives. It can be a very isolating and painful experience, causing a feeling of disconnection and loneliness. It can be difficult to form meaningful connections and find a sense of belonging when we feel like we don't fit in or aren't understood by others. Feeling misunderstood or different from others can often stem from our individual experiences, beliefs, or personalities. Each person has their own unique set of values, interests, and thought processes, which may not always match those of others. Take, for instance, people with a strong passion for a niche hobby or unconventional political views. They may encounter difficulties in finding like-minded people who share their interests or perspectives. It may result in feelings of alienation or a sense of not fitting in. One more factor that can contribute to people feeling misunderstood or different is their cultural or racial background. In a society where a specific cultural or racial group often holds dominance, people from minority backgrounds may experience a sense of not belonging or feeling undervalued and misunderstood. For people who have faced discrimination or prejudice due to their race, ethnicity, or cultural identity, this can be especially difficult. Feeling misunderstood or different can often be traced back to past experiences of trauma or adversity for certain people. People who have gone through abuse, neglect, or other traumatic experiences may find it challenging to trust others or feel secure in social settings. They might perceive their experiences as isolating and believe that they are somehow flawed or harmed. It can be difficult to build strong connections with others, which can result in feelings of isolation and being misunderstood. The impact of feeling misunderstood or different can be substantial and wide-ranging. Feeling like we don't fit in or that others struggle to comprehend us can result in emotions of isolation, sadness, and worry. We might choose to withdraw from social situations or refrain from forming close relationships due to our apprehension of being rejected or judged. This can lead to a cycle of isolation and disconnection that can be challenging to overcome. Regardless of the difficulties of feeling misunderstood or different, it's crucial to keep in mind that everyone possesses valuable and respectable unique experiences and perspectives. Building meaningful connections and finding a sense of belonging can be achieved by taking certain steps, even though it may be challenging to find others who truly understand us. Consider seeking therapy or counseling to address any feelings of being misunderstood or different. Seeking support from a mental health professional can offer a secure and accepting environment to delve into these emotions and acquire effective techniques for handling them. They can also assist people in boosting their self-esteem and cultivating a stronger sense of self-worth and self-acceptance. It's important to keep in mind that feeling misunderstood or different isn't something that lasts forever. Along with seeking support and practicing self-acceptance, this can help you navigate through those challenging times. As we go through life, our experiences and perspectives naturally change and develop. We might come across new people or groups that connect with us and offer a feeling of fitting in. We should always stay receptive to these possibilities and actively pursue connections and experiences that resonate with our true selves. Lesson 5. Unhealthy relationships or social circles. The connections we make and the social groups we are a part of have a significant impact on our lives. Our relationships with others can bring us a feeling of belonging, support, and fulfillment, but they can also cause stress, pain, and negativity. Unhealthy relationships and toxic social circles can greatly affect our mental health, self-esteem, and overall well-being, resulting in a variety of negative consequences that can be challenging to overcome. Unhealthy relationships are typically defined by a lack of respect, trust, and mutual support. These relationships can involve various forms of abuse, manipulation, or neglect, which can leave people feeling trapped, powerless, and isolated. Unhealthy relationships can come in various forms, such as romantic partnerships, family dynamics, or friendships. Identifying and addressing these relationships can be challenging, especially when they have become normalized or accepted within a specific social circle. A clear indication of an unhealthy relationship is when one person has a disproportionate amount of control or influence over the other. There are different ways this can happen, like one person always making all the decisions, controlling the other person's behavior or choices, or using threats or intimidation to stay in control. In romantic relationships, power imbalances can arise due to factors such as gender, race, and socioeconomic status. These imbalances can create intricate dynamics of privilege and oppression. Unhealthy relationships often suffer from a lack of communication and emotional intimacy. In these relationships, people may find it difficult to communicate their needs, emotions, and boundaries, or may feel like they have to be cautious to avoid upsetting their partner. Additionally, people may feel emotionally disconnected or lonely, even when they are physically with their partner. Unhealthy relationships often involve a breakdown in trust and a disregard for personal boundaries. In these relationships, people may feel a sense of constant monitoring, control, or invasion, which can make it difficult for them to maintain their own autonomy and independence. It can be really tough for someone when their partner doesn't respect their boundaries or ignores their needs and desires. This can leave them feeling betrayed or violated. Unhealthy relationships can have a significant impact on mental health and overall well-being. People stuck in unhealthy relationships may go through various negative emotions, including anxiety, depression, guilt, and shame. They might also develop a skewed perception of their own value and self-esteem, thinking that they don't deserve love, respect, or happiness. With time, the ongoing stress and trauma from an unhealthy relationship can cause various physical and mental health issues, including chronic pain, substance abuse, and post-traumatic stress disorder. Unhealthy relationships can impact an individual's social circles and support systems. When someone finds themselves in a toxic relationship, they might start distancing themselves from friends and family members. This could be due to feelings of shame or a need to shield their partner. Additionally, they might experience a sense of isolation from their typical support systems and validation, as their partner attempts to exert control and restrict their social interactions. This isolation can have a significant impact, especially when surrounded by negative social circles that promote and accept toxic behaviors and attitudes. In these circles, people might feel compelled to adhere to unhealthy norms and expectations, like excessive drinking, drug use, or risky sexual behavior. Additionally, people might experience a strong sense of loyalty or obligation towards the group, even if it is hindering their personal growth and fulfillment. Recognizing and breaking free from unhealthy relationships and social circles can be a challenging journey, but it is essential for people to regain their sense of self and well-being. Understanding the signs and patterns of toxicity in relationships and social interactions is an important first step in this process. One way to gain clarity is by seeking the insights of trusted friends, family members, or mental health professionals. Their outside perspective can offer valuable guidance and help people better understand their situation. After realizing that their relationships or social circles are unhealthy, the next step for an individual is to start establishing boundaries and expressing their needs and desires. This process can be difficult, especially for people who are used to putting others' needs before their own. It might require mastering the art of setting boundaries, effectively communicating them, and having the courage to let go of relationships or social situations that no longer benefit you. Developing a strong and positive social network is an essential part of moving away from toxic relationships and negative social circles. One way to go about this is by finding new friends and acquaintances who have similar values and interests. It's important to prioritize relationships that are built on mutual respect, trust, and support. Additionally, it could entail building stronger connections with loved ones, co-workers, or people in the community who can offer a sense of belonging and affirmation. Therapy and counseling can be helpful for people who want to escape from unhealthy relationships and social circles. Seeking help from a mental health professional can offer a supportive and accepting environment where people can navigate their experiences, learn effective coping techniques, and embark on a journey of healing and self-discovery. Additionally, they can assist people in recognizing and addressing harmful patterns of thinking and behavior, while fostering a greater sense of self-worth and self-esteem. Nevertheless, the benefits of liberating oneself from toxic relationships and social circles are ultimately worthwhile. Reclaiming one's sense of self and well-being allows people to create a life that is truly fulfilling and meaningful. One can develop relationships and social connections that are built on respect, trust, and support, enabling personal growth and success. It's crucial to acknowledge how unhealthy relationships and social circles can be influenced by larger systems of oppression and inequality. Gender-based violence, racism, homophobia, and economic inequality are factors that can contribute to the development and perpetuation of harmful social dynamics and power imbalances. Tackling these systemic issues necessitates a united endeavor to question and reshape the societal, cultural, and institutional norms that facilitate and sustain harm. One way to address this is by promoting policies and programs that prioritize healthy relationships and social connections. This can include initiatives like comprehensive sex education, accessible mental health services, and community-based violence prevention programs, prevention programs. Additionally, it could entail efforts to foster inclusive and equitable social spaces and institutions, where people of diverse backgrounds and identities can feel secure, respected, and appreciated. Lesson 6. Overuse of social media. Social media has become a crucial component of our everyday routines. Social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok have completely transformed the way we interact, exchange information, and build relationships. Although social media offers various advantages, like helping us maintain long-distance relationships and express ourselves, excessive use of these platforms can greatly impact our mental health and overall well-being. Social media has experienced an incredible surge in popularity. These platforms have quickly become widely used, with billions of users around the globe. Social media has become a popular choice for people of all ages, from teenagers to grandparents, due to its simplicity and accessibility. Connecting with friends and family, sharing our thoughts and experiences, and accessing a wealth of information and entertainment is just a few clicks or taps away. Nevertheless, with the increasing prevalence of social media, there has been a growing concern regarding its effects on our mental well-being. A major concern revolves around how social media can contribute to feelings of loneliness, depression, and anxiety. Research has indicated that spending too much time on social media can result in heightened feelings of social isolation and disconnection. This occurs when people prioritize online interactions over in-person conversations. In addition, the frequent comparisons and self-assessment that take place on social media can have a negative impact on our self-esteem and how we perceive our own value. Witnessing the meticulously crafted showcase of others can sometimes trigger feelings of inadequacy and self-doubt, as people may perceive themselves as falling short of the idealized standards portrayed on social media. This can be especially detrimental for vulnerable populations like teenagers and young adults, who are still in the process of forming their sense of identity and self-esteem. Excessive use of social media can greatly affect our attention span and ability to concentrate. The never-ending flow of notifications, updates, and new content can be quite overwhelming and distracting, which can make it challenging to focus on tasks that require sustained attention. This can result in reduced productivity and a feeling of being constantly connected, as people feel compelled to frequently check their social media accounts and respond to messages and notifications. Besides affecting our mental health and cognitive abilities, excessive use of social media can also harm our physical well-being. Social media use, when done excessively, can lead to a sedentary lifestyle that may result in health issues such as obesity, cardiovascular disease, and other related problems. In addition, the blue light that electronic devices emit can disturb our natural sleep patterns, resulting in insomnia and other sleep disorders. Social media can sometimes enable negative or harmful behavior, like cyberbullying or the spread of misinformation, due to the anonymity and distance it offers. The absence of accountability and repercussions for negative behavior on social media can foster a toxic atmosphere that poses significant harm to vulnerable populations, including children and adolescents. Using social media in a balanced and purposeful way can offer numerous benefits, such as maintaining connections with others, exchanging knowledge and thoughts, and unleashing our creative expression. Developing healthy habits and boundaries around social media use is crucial. It's important to prioritize our mental health and well-being over seeking constant validation and approval. It's crucial to be aware of the time we dedicate to social media platforms in order to cultivate healthy habits. By establishing dedicated periods for using social media and reducing our overall screen time, we can achieve a healthy equilibrium between our online and offline activities. Occasionally stepping away from social media, like taking a digital detox or social media sabbatical, can be beneficial for giving ourselves a chance to disconnect and recharge. It's crucial to curate our social media feeds to prioritize content that is positive and uplifting. We can start by unfollowing accounts that consistently bring us down or make us feel inadequate. Instead, let's focus on finding accounts and communities that share our values and interests. Additionally, practicing positive self-talk and self-affirmation can be beneficial. It's important to remember that social media does not accurately represent reality, and our value is not based on the quantity of likes or followers we receive. One possible solution involves encouraging younger generations to develop digital literacy and critical thinking skills. By providing people with clear guidance on how to navigate the digital landscape, we can help reduce the negative consequences of excessive social media use. People can learn to recognize and counter the persuasive strategies employed by social media companies, while also fostering genuine and meaningful online interactions. The aim should be to establish a digital environment that encourages connection, creativity, and well-being, rather than one that fosters feelings of isolation, inadequacy, and addiction. Through collaboration at both the individual and societal levels, we can foster a more positive and beneficial connection with social media, maximizing its advantages while minimizing its drawbacks. Lesson 7. Spending too much time alone. With the busy schedules and responsibilities that come with work, family, and social commitments, many people long for moments of solitude and personal time. Although taking some time for ourselves can be helpful for rejuvenation and introspection, excessive solitude can have detrimental effects on our mental health and overall well-being. A major concern of spending excessive time alone is the potential for social isolation and feelings of loneliness. Humans have an innate desire for connection and a sense of belonging. Spending excessive time alone can lead to feelings of disconnection from others and a sense of loneliness and isolation. This can pose a challenge for people who live by themselves, work from home, or have few social connections. Extensive research has shown the detrimental impact of social isolation and loneliness. Research has indicated that long-term feelings of isolation can contribute to various health issues such as depression, anxiety, heart problems, and cognitive decline. Loneliness has also been associated with a higher likelihood of early mortality, with certain studies indicating that it can be as detrimental to our well-being as smoking or obesity. Not only do social isolation and loneliness have direct effects on our mental health, but spending excessive time alone can also lead to indirect negative consequences. When we are by ourselves, we tend to fall into negative self-talk, rumination, and other unhealthy thought patterns. It's possible that we might be more inclined to develop unhealthy habits like excessive drinking or overeating as a means of dealing with feelings of boredom or loneliness. Spending excessive time in solitude can have a significant effect on our cognitive and creative capacities. Excessive solitude can impede our capacity to generate fresh ideas and solve problems, although some alone time can be beneficial for deep thinking and creative endeavors. Social interaction and collaboration are valuable for gaining inspiration and feedback, which allows us to improve our thoughts and consider different viewpoints. Spending time with others not only has cognitive and creative benefits, but it also offers valuable opportunities for learning and personal growth. By engaging in meaningful discussions and exchanging experiences, we can acquire fresh insights, enhance our abilities, and expand our perspectives. Spending excessive time alone can cause us to overlook valuable learning opportunities and get trapped in our narrow viewpoints. Alone time is crucial for certain people, especially those who are introverted or highly sensitive, as it allows them to recharge and process their emotions. Being alone can also give us a chance to reflect on ourselves, look inward, and grow personally. This helps us gain a better understanding of who we are and our role in the world. We can achieve this by establishing clear boundaries for our personal time and space, while also actively seeking out chances to connect and engage with others. Additionally, we can work on developing various coping strategies and self-care practices to effectively handle feelings of loneliness or isolation. Developing a clear sense of purpose and meaning in life is a key strategy for effectively managing the negative consequences of excessive solitude. Having a clear understanding of our values, goals, and passions can help us feel more connected to others and less lost or disconnected. Participating in activities that resonate with our purpose, like volunteering, pursuing hobbies, or working towards personal or professional goals, can bring a deep sense of satisfaction and connection, even when we are by ourselves. One way to do this is by joining a club or group that shares our interests. We can also attend social events or gatherings, or simply reach out to friends and loved ones for conversation and support. When we feel lonely or disconnected, it may seem easier to isolate ourselves. However, actively seeking social interaction can help break the cycle of isolation. Although social media and other digital platforms offer valuable opportunities for connection and communication, excessive use or relying on them instead of face-to-face interaction can lead to feelings of isolation and disconnection. By establishing limits on our technology usage and making face-to-face interactions a priority, we can foster authentic and significant connections with those around us. Professional support can be a crucial step for people facing chronic loneliness or social isolation. Therapists and counselors offer helpful tools and strategies to cope with loneliness, enhance social skills, and foster a sense of connection and belonging. Additionally, they can assist people in recognizing and resolving any underlying mental health concerns, such as depression or anxiety, that may be contributing to feelings of isolation. One way to address this is by investing in community programs and services that offer social interaction and support. These initiatives can be especially beneficial for vulnerable populations, like the elderly or people with disabilities. Additionally, fostering a culture of empathy, compassion, and inclusivity is important, where everyone feels valued and supported, regardless of their social status or circumstances. Finding a solution to the issue of spending excessive time alone calls for a personalized and comprehensive strategy. It's important to understand that while spending time alone can be beneficial, it's also crucial to be aware of the potential downsides of isolating oneself too much. It's essential to actively foster a sense of connection and belonging. By adopting healthy habits and coping strategies, engaging in social interaction and seeking support and fostering empathy and inclusivity, we can strive for a more connected and fulfilling existence, both as people and as a society. Isolating ourselves for extended periods can have detrimental effects on our mental and physical well-being. It can lead to social isolation, feelings of loneliness, and various health issues. Finding a healthy balance between alone time and social interaction is crucial for overall well-being. It's important to actively cultivate a sense of connection and belonging in order to thrive. By adopting healthy habits and coping strategies, finding social support and resources, and fostering empathy and inclusivity, we can strive for a more connected and fulfilling life, both personally and as a society. Lesson 8. Bad addiction that caused social isolation. Kate was always a social butterfly, effortlessly moving from one group of friends to another. She always brought the party to life, effortlessly entertaining everyone with her clever jokes and captivating stories. However, Kate was facing a hidden addiction that was gradually taking over her life. It began with a casual gathering, where she enjoyed a couple of beverages to relax and feel at ease. However, before long, those few drinks became a nightly ritual for Kate, serving as a means to deal with the stress and anxiety of her daily existence. She always longed for the comforting numbness that alcohol brought, the ability to escape her troubles and fully embrace the present. Kate's social life started to decline as her addiction worsened. She began to decline social invitations, opting to spend her evenings at home, enjoying a drink by herself. She began avoiding family gatherings, coming up with various reasons like being swamped with work or feeling under the weather. Gradually, she started distancing herself from the people who were most concerned about her. Kate's work life started to decline as well. She would frequently arrive at the office feeling the effects of a late night, making it difficult for her to concentrate on her work and complete assignments on time. Her colleagues began to observe her unpredictable conduct and started to keep their distance, not wanting to be linked with someone who appeared to be losing control. Kate stubbornly refused to acknowledge her problem, even in the face of clear warning signs. She firmly believed that she had the ability to quit drinking at any time, fully confident in her ability to overcome her addiction. However, she couldn't ignore the fact that she was deceiving herself. Kate only truly understood the severity of her problem when she reached her lowest point. One morning she woke up after a night of heavy drinking, with no recollection of how she had made it home, or what had transpired the previous night. She felt overwhelmed by shame and despair, realizing that her addiction had consumed her life. Kate nervously reached for the phone and dialed her best friend, Sarah. She openly shared her emotions, expressing all that she had been experiencing and earnestly seeking assistance. Sarah attentively listened, providing words of support and encouragement. She assisted Kate in locating a nearby support group for people facing addiction and kindly volunteered to accompany her to the meetings. Kate initially had reservations about attending the meetings. She felt anxious about being evaluated, about confessing to a group of unfamiliar people that she had an issue. However, as she heard the experiences of others who had faced similar challenges, she started to feel a glimmer of hope and a sense of connection. She came to the realization that she wasn't the only one fighting addiction, and that there were people who could relate to her experiences. Kate gradually started to reconstruct her life. She consistently attended meetings, actively participating in the 12-step program and acquiring effective strategies to manage stress and anxiety. She made an effort to reconnect with the friends and family members she had distanced herself from. Expressing remorse for her actions and seeking their forgiveness and support, Kate found a new sense of purpose and meaning in her life as she continued on her journey of recovery. She began dedicating her time to a nearby homeless shelter, drawing from her personal experiences to assist those grappling with addiction and poverty. She even started sharing her story at meetings, inspiring others with her message of hope and resilience. Reflecting on her journey, Kate came to understand that her addiction had served as a means of dealing with underlying feelings of self-doubt and insecurity. She had relied on alcohol to numb her emotions and avoid confronting her own flaws. However, during her journey to recovery, she discovered the importance of accepting and embracing every part of herself, leading to a profound sense of self-love and acceptance. Kate's story serves as a reminder that addiction can affect people from all walks of life, irrespective of their social standing or personal history. This disease can gradually erode a person's life, causing them to become isolated from the people and things they cherish. However, it also highlights the importance of hope and the strength of coming together as a community to overcome the most difficult challenges. Today, Kate has undergone a significant transformation from her days of addiction. She is in a state of sobriety, experiencing happiness and enjoying the support of a caring community of friends and family. She understands that recovery is a lifelong process, but she remains dedicated to approaching it one day at a time, appreciating the opportunity for a fresh start in life. Social isolation is when someone doesn't have many social connections or interactions, which can make them feel lonely, disconnected, and like they don't belong. Social isolation can happen due to various factors such as physical or geographic barriers, mental health concerns, or personal preferences. Addiction can also lead to social isolation. When people get caught up in their addictive behaviors or substances, they might start to distance themselves from social connections and activities, creating a harmful cycle of isolation and addiction. Substance abuse is a frequently encountered addiction that can result in social isolation. When people develop a reliance on drugs or alcohol, they might end up putting their substance use before everything else, such as their relationships and social interactions. People might start distancing themselves from loved ones, either due to feelings of embarrassment or a need to hide their addiction. Alternatively, this could be because their substance use has become their main priority and source of enjoyment. Substance abuse can also result in various physical and mental health issues, which can further contribute to social isolation. Take drug or alcohol abuse, for instance. It can lead to changes in behavior or personality, like heightened aggression, paranoia or depression. These changes can make it challenging for people to maintain healthy relationships. Additionally, people may face physical health issues such as liver or kidney damage that can impact their social life and ability to work. Gambling is another habit that can result in social isolation. When people develop a gambling addiction, they might start putting their gambling habits ahead of everything else in their lives, such as their relationships and social interactions. Some people might choose to deceive their loved ones about their gambling tendencies, while others may start isolating themselves from social engagements to prioritize gambling. Additionally, gambling addiction can lead to serious financial repercussions, exacerbating feelings of social isolation. When people lose money due to gambling, it can cause financial stress and strain, leading to issues in relationships and social withdrawal. Some people might feel ashamed or embarrassed about their financial situation, which can make it challenging for them to reach out for assistance or seek support from others. Internet and technology addiction is a rapidly increasing issue that can result in social isolation. As smartphones, social media, and online gaming become more popular, people are spending less time interacting in person. Although the internet and technology offer great chances for connection and communication, using them too much can result in negative outcomes such as social isolation. Take, for instance, people who spend too much time online. They might start ignoring their real-life relationships and activities, which can make them feel disconnected and lonely. Additionally, people may encounter physical health issues like eye strain, back pain, or carpal tunnel syndrome, which can restrict their engagement in social activities. In addition, the internet and technology can sometimes provide an overwhelming amount of information and stimulation, which can lead to feelings of burnout and social withdrawal. Work addiction, also known as workaholism, is another form of addiction that can result in social isolation. When people get too caught up in their work and professional duties, they might start to overlook other important parts of their lives, like relationships and socializing. Some people may find themselves working extended hours, bringing work home, or placing a higher emphasis on work rather than their family and personal life. Although having a strong work ethic and being dedicated to one's career are commendable, it's important to recognize that work addiction can have detrimental effects on mental health and overall well-being. People who are addicted to work may face long-term stress, anxiety, and burnout, resulting in potential health issues, both physical and mental. Furthermore, people might unintentionally disregard their personal relationships and social connections, resulting in emotions of isolation and disconnection. Food addiction is a frequently ignored issue that can result in feeling socially isolated. When people develop a food addiction, they might start using food to deal with emotional stress or become overly focused on thoughts of food and eating. Additionally, they might face physical health issues like obesity or diabetes, which could restrict their involvement in social activities or relationships. Feelings of shame and embarrassment can arise from food addiction, especially in a society that prioritizes thinness and physical appearance. People who have difficulty with food addiction may feel insecure about their bodies, or may avoid social situations that involve food, which can lead to more isolation and disconnection. Another issue that can result in social isolation is sexual addiction. When people develop an addiction to sexual behaviors or activities, they might start putting their sexual desires ahead of everything else in their lives, including their relationships and social interactions. Some people may participate in risky or inappropriate sexual behaviors, like infidelity or prostitution, that can harm their personal relationships and social connections. Feelings of shame and guilt can often arise from sexual addiction, especially in a society that stigmatizes and condemns certain sexual behaviors. People dealing with sexual addiction may find it difficult to reach out for assistance or find support, which can result in increased feelings of isolation and disconnection. The patterns and consequences of addictions and behaviors that can lead to social isolation are often similar, even though the specific ones may vary. When people get caught up in their addictive behaviors or substances, they might start ignoring other parts of their lives, like relationships and social connections. People may face various challenges, including physical and mental health issues, financial difficulties, and legal ramifications. These factors can exacerbate feelings of social isolation and disconnection. To break the cycle of addiction and social isolation, it is important to adopt a comprehensive and personalized approach. Many people find it necessary to seek professional help and support as their first step. One option is to consider attending support groups like Alcoholics Anonymous or Gamblers Anonymous. Another possibility is to seek individual therapy or counseling. These resources offer helpful tools and strategies for handling addictive behaviors, along with a sense of community and connection with others facing similar challenges. We should focus on creating policies and initiatives that prioritize prevention, education, and easy access to treatment and support services. One approach could be to invest in community-based programs and services, like substance abuse treatment centers or mental health clinics. Additionally, it would be beneficial to foster a culture of empathy, compassion, and understanding when it comes to addiction and mental health. In order to break the cycle of addiction and social isolation, it is important to be open to seeking help, dedicated to personal growth and change, and surrounded by a supportive and empathetic community. Understanding the signs and consequences of addiction is crucial. By actively building and maintaining healthy relationships and social connections, people can break free from isolation and disconnection and strive for a more fulfilling and connected life. Final lesson. Zero friend. As you finish reading this book and begin your own journey towards creating meaningful connections, it's important to be gentle and understanding with yourself. Embrace your individuality and strengths, knowing that there are people who will truly appreciate and value them, just as you do. Look for chances to engage with like-minded people who have similar values and interests. This can be done through hobbies, volunteering, or joining community groups. Embrace new experiences and different perspectives. And don't hesitate to venture beyond your comfort zone. Above all, it's crucial to never lose faith in yourself or your aspirations of discovering genuine companionship and a sense of belonging. You should be surrounded by people who genuinely care for you, motivate you to reach your full potential, and make you feel acknowledged, listened to, and appreciated. As you move forward, remember that your loneliness and struggles do not define you. You are a wonderfully unique individual with a captivating story and a meaningful role in this world. Embrace who you truly are. Nurture love and acceptance for yourself, and have faith that the right people will enter your life when the timing is right. Remember, even in your toughest times, you are never truly alone. We are all connected as part of a larger human family, bound together by our shared experiences, challenges, and aspirations for the future. By reaching out and forming genuine connections, you can start to find your place in this family and create a life that is abundant, satisfying, and filled with love.